Hello everyone, welcome back to our new video. So this new video is about our pre-construction opportunities that I have access to, which is in Alberta market. As you know, I am not a big fan of pre-construction in Ontario, at least at this point. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Plus, the prices are pretty high and their cash flow is non-existent. However, there is this place in Ontario, which is Alberta, and a city in Alberta, which is Edmonton, which still allows you to cash flow really nice even in today's market. And the projects that I am selling or I am personally investing in, these projects are closing. Even though you buy them today, they are gonna close end of next year or even 2026. And there are some projects which even have closing in 2027. I'll share all those details in this video, but this video more so is kind of explaining you the fundamentals of these projects that we are selling. So we are talking about 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. We are talking about 2-bed, 2-bath townhome with legal basement, and 3-bed, 2.5-bath townhome with legal basement. So these are the corner units I'm going to talk about overall. Okay, so we have plenty of projects which kind of offer these things in Edmonton, but we're going to take specific examples, go into the nitty-gritty of the numbers, and then we go from we do a comparative analysis between if you buy a townhome, if you buy a condo, 3-bed, 2-bath, what's the difference, how does the number looks like, and gonna use some of the very general terms, maybe super conservative in our estimates, and then how the numbers are gonna pan out. So if you do have, after watching this video, if you do still have any questions regarding investing in Alberta or Edmonton in general, do feel free to reach out to us on our Instagram page, which is mentioned in this video. We'll put all the links in the description. But yeah, do follow, comment, subscribe, whatever, just do everything in there. Okay, so we're gonna talk about first this. I'll just explain what all the charts are. So this one is a condo, 2-bed, 2-bath condo, which is roughly 800 to 900 square feet. Then this is 2-bed, 2-bath townhome. So this one is 2-bed, 2-bath townhome with a legal basement. I'll just mention here legal basement. So this is with the legal basement, and then this is a 3-bed, 2.5-bath with legal basement as well. So these are the corner unit townhome that comes with legal basement. So kind of give you that unique opportunity, even though it's a condo townhomes, but because it's a corner unit, they are freehold. Sorry, not all of them are condo townhomes. These are townhome corner unit, which builds the legal basement for you. You can also build, you can also get the houses just with the separate entrance and build the basement yourself. There's a price difference of around 30 to 40K. Based on that, some people like to do it themselves. But if you are someone who's just buying it from the investment point of view, you are not going to live in it, you're not going to move to Alberta, you're probably not going to visit it that often as well. So then you just better off be taking it from the builder as a finished product and then rent it out from day one. So first we'll talk about PP stands for purchase price. This is DP's down payment, this is the closing cost, and this is your total cash required to kind of acquire that property or close on that property. So purchase price of a condo unit, 2-bed, 2-bath is 239K. Yes, this is the starting price. They're different model, but more or less this is your ideal price range that we are looking at. Median price, which is 239,000 Canadian dollars. If you are a first-time home buyer, if you are buying it for the purpose that you're going to move into the unit, then your 5% down payment is only $12,000. And if you are buying it for the investment purposes, which is what this video is probably like more catered towards, is 48,000. So this 20%, because it's a pre-construction project, so you only pay 5% at the time when you book it, and then another 5% after 6 months, and rest of that 20% you pay at the time of closing, which could be end of next year or 2026, or depending on which unit you buy, what time it's closing, that's when you pay that leftover 10% out of that 20% in that case. So that's kind of the structure of like the entire project is like 5% when you book it, 5% after 6 months, and then rest of the money at the time of down payment. And you do have to get qualified for the mortgage as well. You don't need the qualification when you buy the project, but it's still kind of, I would recommend it to everyone for your due diligence sake. Make sure you have that mortgage eligibility, even though you are closing it after a few years. And yes, there is we do provide assignment clause, so you can sell this unit before the possession as well, if that's something you want to do, especially if you're taking a longer closing. I think that's a very good option to have. But regardless, if you're buying something like that, make sure You have the capacity to close it. You can use it as an option whether you close it or not, but you should have a capacity to close it. Do not buy it just for the sake of assignment. That's just not a good strategy, and fundamentally it's not something that you should do as an investor. Okay, so 239 is the purchase price, 12k if you are a first time home buyer, 5% down payment. This is 48k is the 20% down payment. Closing cost is $1,500. So since you're buying in Alberta, your closing cost is only $1,500. There is no land transfer tax. There is no development charges in these projects. It's pretty straightforward. Whatever price you see, that's the final price, and this $1,500 is a lawyer fee. So you have the final price, you have the lawyer fee $1,500, and that's it. That's the price of the unit. You won't even pay a single dollar more than this, and that's the beauty of Alberta, or you can say not so good thing about investing in Ontario or BC, where you have thousands of dollars that you have to pay in closing costs, which is kind of unnecessary, doesn't really count for anything. Okay, then the total cash required for a project like this, if you do put 20% down payment, is your $49,500. So that's what the K represent, is the thousands of dollars. So that's for this condo unit. Okay, so now that's the cost of acquisition. So you buy it at $239,000. You pay your 20%, 5% down payment depending on, and you have $1,500 closing cost. Then now you're gonna look from the investor perspective, since this video is solely for investors. So from investor point of view, this is your operating cost. OE stands for operating cost. For example, again, 2 bed 2 bath, that's the unit we are discussing. So do not pay attention to other numbers, even if you see them. So your operating cost monthly is $1,350, which includes this $1,350 includes your mortgage cost. It includes your management fee that you're gonna pay for monthly management. You're gonna, like, if you are an investor, probably you know, if you want to manage it yourself, you can save even that much money. So this includes your mortgage, this includes your insurance, and your management fee per month in this price.
Condo fees.
And the interest rate that I have calculated with today's numbers is 3.5%. So by the end of next year or a year after, interest rate will be way down. But since we are doing conservative estimates, so that's why I have taken the interest rate to be 3.5, calculated the numbers, which is your, this includes your mortgage cost, this includes your miscellaneous charges monthly, and your condo, if there is sorry, this one has a condo fee because this is a condo unit. It has a small condo fee of around $200, so that's included in it. So mortgage, condo, and your insurance cost, so that's all included in it. So that's your monthly carrying cost for this unit is $1,351 with 3.5 as interest rate, 30-year amortization. So that's another part that I want to make sure you're aware of. Then your monthly rent, if you rent this unit, if you're an investor, you're probably going to rent it out. So if you rent this unit, this is today's rent. In today's market, a 2 bed 2 bath condo in this location where this project is located, which is in the northwest of Edmonton, closer to the West Edmonton Mall. That's the biggest mall of Asia, of North America, if you aren't aware of that. So the rent in today's market is $1,900. So your operating cost is $1,351 and your monthly rent is $1,900. So you already see the cash flow differences, and it's only gonna go bigger and bigger as market condition improves. As your interest cost goes down, your rental income does go up quite, let's say every year there is a few percentage point, 2-3%, because, and also in Alberta there is no rent control. So you are not limited to increase your rent by 1% or 2% as you are in Alberta, as you are in Ontario. In Alberta there is no rent control. Whatever is the market demand. So, but still, for the sake of calculation, just consider it to be a 1 to 2% increase every year. Okay, so that's the number we'll stick by. So 1,900 is your monthly income that this property is bringing, and this is your cost. And the monthly, now your monthly cash flow from this unit based on the rent and your operating cost is $549. That's after paying all the expenses. So, and this is a brand new unit, so you're not gonna have a lot of miscellaneous expenses here. It's not gonna be, you're gonna get brand new appliances, you're gonna get all the upgrades, basic upgrades that a builder provided in the new units. That's gonna be $549 is gonna be your monthly cash flow, and this is in today's market, taking today's number. Imagine what's gonna happen few years down the line. Let's say when you close this unit next year or a year after, this number might go up to 600 or maybe 650. So think from that potential, not only what's going to happen today, but also what's going to happen tomorrow. But for the sake of conservative numbers, when you do your math, you should always be conservative. That's why this number kind of makes sense. So 549 is your cash flow from this unit. And interest rate, again, we have taken the calculation basis 3.5% interest rate. And now we're going to talk about this 2-bed, 2-bath with legal basement townhome. So this is a 2-bed corner unit. Again, legal basement is only possible on a corner unit in townhome because they are connected on both sides. Only the corner unit is not connected on one side. You can say that it's like a semi-detached, so that's where you can do this legal basement. And builder gives you the opportunity, either you can take with a separate entrance or you can get a full legal basement. I would recommend full legal basement, so you don't want to worry about it, especially if you are an investor who doesn't live in the area. That's what I would recommend. So $379 is your price for a legal basement, 2-bed, 2-bath, and this legal basement would be a 1-bed, 1-bath, simple, like small basement, 1-bed, 1-bath. So the purchase price $379K. If you put 5% down payment, you're putting $18K as down payment, $76 if you're putting 20% down payment, and your closing cost again just the $1,500, which is the lower cost. 78K is the total cash required if you do buy this as an investor with 20% down payment. And again, how you book these units is you put 5% at the time of booking, another 5% in 6 months, and then rest of the money at the time of closing, which could be anywhere from 1 year to 2 years, 1.5 year. We have different options depending on whatever suits you. Now again, cash flow analysis part of this one. So this is your monthly holding cost. So this $1,615 includes your monthly mortgage. Again, mortgage with 3.5% as your interest rate. This includes your mortgage plus your insurance plus any miscellaneous expenses or management fee. You can say it's going to be $1,600 per month with 30-year amortization. That's going to be your holding cost. And $2,900 is the amount of monthly rent that you're going to bring in every single month, which does include your legal basement rent as well. So legal basement you rent out separately, rest of the unit you rent out separately, which is your 2-bedroom, 2-bath main floor unit. So both the combined rent for both the unit, this is $2,900. This is today's market. This is the market in rent in today's market. So just make sure you're aware of that as well. Things are only going to improve moving forward, but that's just what the assumption is, okay? But worst case scenario, you still have this number. And your monthly cash flow, that's the number you want to pay attention to. This is monthly cash flow is $1,285 with 3.5 interest rate. So that's a key number you want to focus on as an investor. So there is a reason why compared to a condo, why you want to go for a townhome, because of this cash flow number. Plus another thing you want to make sure, because townhome, especially a corner unit townhome compared to a 2-bedroom condo, will always have a higher appreciation. Now we're going to move on to our final unit, which is, I would say, the best product we have from an investor point of view, which is your 3-bed, 2.5 bath with legal basement. This is again a corner unit townhome. Inventory is limited for those units, but for the sake of calculations, we're gonna kind of discussing these ones right now. So again, the purchase price for this unit is $519K. This is and because it's going over a little over $500,000 property. If you are someone a first-time home buyer, so make sure this number 25K does have the minimum 5% down payment, but because you are going beyond $500,000 number, this rest of the $20,000 you would have to pay 10%. So this 25K, just for the sake of calculation I wrote here, it might be a little bit a higher number, because up to $500,000 you put minimum 5% if you are a first time home buyer, but the moment you cross $500,000 you have to put 10% down payment. So there might be a few dollars more on this down payment. Just for the sake of calculation, I kind of written it that way for now. But and then if you're putting 20% down payment, then you are putting 104 in there. Most of the investor would be putting this number, and again your closing cost is 1,500, so your total cash required to close the unit is 106. Again, these units are also available in your we have closing in 1 year to 2 year closing, so anywhere whatever kind of fits your criteria you can choose that. The only, because this is a legal basement, this corner unit, there aren't that many, so we only have a limited supply of these units. So just be aware of that. If you do reach out to one out looking for a similar unit, we have a limited quantity. Okay, so we can't give everyone, promise everyone will get those units, but it's just like it's a first come first serve basis. So if you are someone who's interested in it, want to know more about it, reach out ASAP. So now the cash flow analysis of 3-bed 2.5 bath with legal basement unit is your monthly carrying cost is $2,168, so $2,168. This includes your mortgage, your insurance, and your monthly like miscellaneous charges here and there that you could have. Again, you have an option to self-manage it yourself, or we can give it to a management company for you. We have the companies of people on the ground who can manage it for you if you want. But that number is pretty accurate, again, with calculated with 3.5 interest rate and 30 year of amortization. This is your monthly rent that you will bring with the legal basement. Again, legal basement here also is 1.1 bath, 1 bed, 1 bath basement. But because the main unit has 3 bed and 2.5 bath, the rent overall you'll collect is 3,400, which is 500 more than the 2 bed, 2 bath. So again, because this is purchase price is also higher for this unit, your cash flow will more or less even lesser than a little bit less or more or less same compared to a 2 bed, 2 bath and this one. But the main part here is because it's a 3 bed, because it's a 3 bedroom 2.5 bath townhome. There is a more demand for this because this is kind of ideal family size or a starter home for a like a family of 3 or 4. That's why demand for these 3 bedroom townhome is a lot more compared to those condos or these 2 bed townhomes. So that's why you'll see a lot more appreciation in this unit compared to any other any other units that we have seen. So 3 bedroom townhome is kind of best performing category based on the last 3 years of data. Average it out, you will see the maximum appreciation that has been reached in Edmonton or even so in Calgary as well is in this 3 bedroom townhome or 3 bedroom detached category. That's the category which gives you the best return over the long term hold when it comes to holding. So again, cash flow is more or less same, but your cost to buy it also a little bit higher. Your rent is higher, but your holding cost is higher just because it is at a higher unit. Again, in this one, you have that option as well where you can buy this unit without the full basement. You can buy with just separate entrance and build the basement yourself later on. If that's something you are willing to do, you don't want to pay that $500,000 or 520 up front. You can get it for a lot like at least 50 grand less than the actual price and build the basement yourself after acquiring. But then it does involve getting permissions and hiring contractors. If you don't want to go through the hassle, I would recommend just go with what builder is providing in terms of legal basement and just kind of roll with that. So again, that's the overall video. I'll quickly summarize it. So these are our best cash flow positive projects that I'm selling or I'm personally investing in Edmonton. 2 bed 2 bath condo, purchase price is $239. You buy it with a 20% down payment, $48,000. If 5% first time home buyer, $12K down payment, $1,500 is the only closing cost because in Alberta there is no other closing. There is no land transfer tax, there is no development charges, just a $1,500 lawyer fee, and this is your total cash required, which is $49,500 to close on this unit. And your cash flow for this unit is around $549 is your monthly cash flow in this unit if you buy this unit. And again, on the other hand, if you buy a 2 bed 2 bath with a legal basement condo, the purchase price is $379,000 with a down payment of $76,000 for 20%, $18K for 5%, and $1,500 closing cost. $78K is total cash required. Your monthly cash flow is again $1,250 on this one as well. And when it comes to 3 bed townhome, 2.5 bath with legal basement, your purchase price is $519K, $25K down payment, $100K with 20%, $1,500 is your closing cost. That's your lawyer fee. $106, roughly $100K is required to close this unit, which include down payment and lawyer fee. And your cash flow is also here is roughly $1,250. So whichever category you invest in, there is good amount of cash flow available in today's market, which can be replicable. Imagine the same market conditions will improve next year and the amount of cash flow will only go up. But having said that, for the conservative estimate, stick to this cash flow numbers. It'll help you out with your calculations. Stick to that. If you can self-manage these units, you can increase this cash flow even further. Having said that, if you have any more questions, if you need a layout of these units, do reach out to us. We will provide you layouts, or we have the virtual tour of these units as well. I can send you videos of it that we have that I went in myself in these units and showed those videos, and I'll send it to you. We have virtual tour, I think, for some units available as well. We give you that as well. So whatever it's required to make a decision, informed decision, just understand the project, understand the cash flow numbers, understand the market, understand what location you are buying in, and that's the reason for kind of giving this detailed overview in this video. So again, thank you so much for watching the video.